Wow, I've got some tea. If you haven't heard it yet, I'm sure you have. Before I forget to do my intro, my name is Chelsea. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you are not new here. On my channel, I basically share my opinion about scams and stuff. So I got some opinions for you today, and we are going to talk about the MLM that I actually used to be in. I say all the time, it's a little embarrassing, but I'm out and I'm speaking out against it. And we are talking about Monat today because there's just a lot to talk about, okay? So some of you may or may not know that I think it was about 6 or so months ago, maybe a little bit more, the president of Monat, Stuart McMillan, ended up, I think he quit. I haven't dove so much into that, but I know now anyway. So he's no longer with the company and he is now suing Monat. So all that happened. I know Savannah Marie has done a long video where she reads the whole documentation and all that stuff, the whole court stuff. So that's happening. And then when I started paying more attention, I noticed I know a couple other creators have also covered this, and I figured, how could I not join in on this topic since I used to be a part of this company? So the OG, the very, very first ever Monat market partner, as of a few days ago, has been terminated and is now allegedly also going to bring up some sort of lawsuit against Monat of some sort. We are going to watch her video, her little Instagram live that she did, that talks a little bit about it so we can get the news and react a little bit and talk about it together. And before we do get started on this video, I want everybody to know that these are my opinions, of course, some of which are based on my experience, especially in this particular company. It's all my opinion, and that's what you came here for. So, Tony, take it away.
Hey, good morning, everyone. It's been a minute since I've been on Instagram. We wanted to share something with you because we've had some challenges that we've had over the last couple of, well, actually year and a half. And so let me give you a little bit of a timeline. So what had happened is that back at the end of 2022, I was asking some tough questions. We had our leaders coming to us, trying to get answers on certain things, and we just never did.
This is like a great example of like the whole like culty aspect of MLMs that kind of happens when you're in one, and when you start asking tough questions and information that they don't want to share. It's information control. And when you start questioning the behavior of the company or the organization, they refuse to answer the questions and give you what you're asking for because they don't want you to know that information. So I don't know if this pertains to the ingredient changes and some of the other stuff that has been brought up against Monat in these past couple of years, regardless of everything else that has happened before that. But I think it's interesting that she truly was she started to ask questions, and then it was a red flag to her because she wasn't getting answers.
So, I still pursued it because we weren't getting the answers that we needed. So what had happened during this time is that I decided to, ask harder questions. And that was resulting in what has happened over the last 6 months of, for lack of a better word, just they started building back in February a compliance file against us.
So, I mean, obviously compliance for Monat, it's like you can't make certain income claims. I'm curious if we will find out what exactly these compliance claims are against her. Of like, I want to know what Monat is building against her, and that's what ultimately got her terminated. I'm very curious because she says they're false, but yeah, well, let's keep seeing what else she has to say. It really does, like, it's still crazy though that she continued to ask the questions and just started putting pressure on them, and it ultimately led to this. Like, I feel for her because this was her job and whatever, but I mean, I also don't like that she was at the top of a MLM scamming a bunch of people, but still the point is, I mean, it just goes to show again that you're saying that you own your own, business, but you don't, because you can get terminated at any time, no matter how much money you are making or bringing to the company. And that's sad.
And they were citing all of these things, but they weren't sending any examples. So I just kept my head down. I hired a litigator 6 weeks ago because it had gotten to the point where it escalated, and Jay and I felt that we had no choice but to hire legal counsel. Okay? So, be that as it may, one of the dogs got out. Be that as it may, we have had no other choice. And I'm going to read this statement that my attorney helped me write, but we had no other choice to do what we're doing right now. As a result of that, with me.
So they wouldn't even give her examples of what she was doing against compliance. They were just telling her that she was going against compliance and had like 6 months of receipts. That's really messed up because they bring this threat and ultimately, they like terminate her, but then they're not explaining why. I mean, this whole thing just like it just kind of really shows that the entire company is crumbling when you're going to terminate these top leaders. And now I have been also looking at what are top leaders in Monat. We're going to watch one of those coaching calls in the next video, or not coaching calls, opportunity calls in the next video. And it's like one from a couple of days ago. Again, we're mid-May here, 2024. And so even after all this is happening and all this stuff is exposed, people are still trying to join this company. And I think it's fascinating. But anyways, sorry, just went on a tangent. That's my next video after this one. So a little teaser there. But let's get back to Tony. Let's let her read her statement.
Complying. And again, you guys, these were false accusations. I asked them to provide me proof, and after the 8th email, they sent me some Instagram lives that I had done, reels that they wanted me to take down, and I said why. They couldn't give me a reason. So what I did is I got John.
Oh, so they sent her the posts that were allegedly against compliance. And honestly, I mean, I don't doubt that they probably were, because I know our anti-MLM squad here, we all have been, sending those things to the compliance for Monat and the Florida Attorney General and all that stuff. So I know we might have had something to do with that. For as long as we could think of, I'm sure they've swept it under the rug up until now. And it's interesting too that they would just tell her to take them down but not give her a solid reason. So that this company is just getting worse and worse by the minute.
Involved, who is our attorney, John Roberts out of Santa Rosa in Florida, got our attorney involved, and we wrote a formal letter, and he wrote it on my behalf because I'm not a lawyer. Wrote it on my behalf, and I sent it to Ray asking for my legal counsel to be present with their compliance team so we could figure this out, and we were denied. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the official statement because now, as of yesterday, they have terminated us. Okay?
So yeah, this was done 2 days ago. So based on that timeline, she got terminated from Monat 3 days ago. So that would put this at May 10th, May 9th or 10th when she got terminated, which is just insane that somebody of her status would get terminated. And again, it shows that you don't really own your own business, no matter what they tell you.
You guys, if this had not happened, just because of what has happened over the last few weeks, we were going to resign next week once my legal complaint was officially filed, which it has not been done yet. So it has gone to that, but it hasn't been, the clerk hasn't issued it yet. So if the whole thing is that I love this industry. I love this industry. I've been in it for 30 years.
That's super sad and sucks that she's leaving Monat and now she's still going to be in an MLM. So this, could happen to her again. We don't want that for you, Tony. We want you to come out and be a normal person and not scam people in another company. But again, I feel bad for her that this happened, but at the same time, she was top predator from MLM, in my opinion, or from Monat, in my opinion. But I wish this would be an eye-opener for her, or of the industry itself, and not just blame the company, because she obviously hasn't been with Monat for 30 years. So what was the reason of her leaving her other MLMs? And just again, how is that not a red flag on the industry and not the company?
Be in it, and I will continue to do what I love. But I just want you to hear me out. Okay, So this is the statement that John and I wrote. As most of you know or have heard, there's been a schism atop the leadership of Monat. I've heard from many of you asking for information about what is happening, whether there is to be a lawsuit, and what comes next in my future. I want to be very clear. I have chosen to be silent recently because it was in my best interest to do so. I'm breaking that silence because I believe you need to hear things from my perspective. Now, I'm greatly concerned about the direction of the company that you and I and us have helped to build.
So I'm assuming that like these conversations have been happening with her and her downline like long before this, because she's saying this is like a year and a half in the making for her. Obviously, it's showing just the company falling apart itself, and even the top leaders were planning on resigning before all these terminations are happening. And I feel like I don't know what looks worse for the company, the fact that they're terminating a bunch of people, or the fact that if they don't terminate them, they're going to quit. Like, I don't know what would be worse. Either way, it's stirring up the negative attention, and you know, us anti-MLMers, we can't stop talking about it. So I don't know, I guess bring it on, but it's just crazy.
This is not a new sentiment, also not one that I share alone. And I know most of you have heard about what's going on and even read the complaint that has been filed by the former president, Stuart McMillan, against the company. While I'm not privy to all of the facts alleged in Stuart's complaint, I am privy enough to be gravely concerned about the allegations contained therein.
And again, just to highlight that, so I haven't done a video on Stuart's complaint against the company, but I know other people have, specifically Savannah Marie. It's a long video where she goes over all of it, and it's something she did live, but I definitely encourage you guys to go over to her channel and watch that, because it's good information there. I need to go like rewatch the whole thing. It was so long, I paused it, I couldn't watch it at one time, which is okay. It's a lot of information to take in, and so I definitely want to even just read the complaint myself. Anyways, she definitely reads the whole thing on her channel, so go over there if you want to go check that out now. Well, don't go after this, but go if you want to. You get it.
I'm also gravely concerned about the method and the manner the company continues to use in its attempts to keep a very serious issue quiet. Stuart was brave to come forward, and all of his honesty will almost certainly be met with scorn and decision at the highest levels of Monat. I want to make very clear that I do stand with him. Now, mind you, we are on Team Tony and we are on Team Truth, because that's where it lies. The truth always comes to light. So I want to make that very clear. And I also want to make very clear.
Isn't that what we've been saying this entire time? Like, since I started speaking out about it. And that was like before it got worse. But like the truth of MLMs and these shady companies, it does eventually come out. Sometimes it takes a while. But here we are, finally having these conversations.
I had no idea what was going on, and I just want people to know that. So all of the conspiracy theories and the collusion, that's not happening. Okay. To end, sorry, you guys, I'm trying to read this because my computer is behind my phone.
I mean, I wonder if there is truth to that. It really genuinely seems like there is, that she didn't know what was going on behind the scenes. Because she wasn't part of corporate, she didn't have to know anything. All she had to do was continue to make money. It's just the second she got curious and started asking questions, that was when she got, the pushback, and they didn't want to give her that information. So it's like, that's something shady going on. And it can be a conspiracy theory of somebody else's that she knew. And that's really bad on her. But to me, it really does sound like she knew something, but she didn't know what. And when she asked questions, they were just like, no, I'm not going to tell you. Or no, you're crazy. Like that's definitely not going on. So, I mean, it's crazy that just any company would do that to somebody.
To end that, you may have heard that, yes, I am filing my own lawsuit. And so I've worked too hard to let this company pull the rug out from under my feet and imperil my livelihood and your income streams. We've built this company together, and I'm not willing to be intimidated by the behavior of the corporate and some of the other leaders at the top. I have engaged with John Roberts, and he is busy undertaking and getting all of the facts in order to represent me against what I perceive as a vicious attempt to separate me from a company that I have helped build.
And then the part where, sure, she helped build the company, and it's like, but if you look at her income, she is like making like almost $500,000 a month, or was like for a while. And so that's like an insane amount of money. Like nobody needs that, or like $200,000 a month. She's making six figures a month because she is the very first. So basically everybody is underneath her. So that's why this is also impacting her so much, because depending on what she was doing with that money, it's none of my business. But like it's just, I guess that makes me feel less bad for her. But like at the same time, like, if you guys want to see like the income, like to see this company crumble is bringing us just so much joy. Let's just say that, especially if you haven't watched CC Suarez's video that exposes their like back office thing that wasn't protected by a firewall, and so she got to see everybody's like income. And that's how I know hers, from that video. Shout out the work you do over there, girl. But it's, oh God, this shit just makes me speechless, because it's like I have mixed emotions and it feels so great. Like it sucks to watch somebody lose their job. And I guess that's the part where I'm like, yeah, that sucks. But at the same time, you're also watching a predator that we have been, trying to expose for so long, the company and the top reps, fall to the ground finally. So I don't want to see anybody lose their job. But do you want to see somebody that's been scamming people finally stop scamming people? Yes. Is she going to? No, she's going to go over to a different company. But that's, yeah. But it just also goes to show, though, that these companies really don't care about you at all, no matter who you are, how much money you're making for the company. On the other hand, here's something else I just thought of. What if they terminated her because she was the top rep and she was making the most amount of money, and they didn't want to cut those commissions to her anymore because the company is losing money? What if that's a part of it? That's a conspiracy theory, but it's a theory. It's a possibility. You never know, because you think about like when big companies make like cuts to people underneath, like not underneath, because it's like in a regular ass company, when they choose to make, like when they have budget cuts and they have to let go of some people, it tends to be people that are making a lot more money, because that's the easiest way for them to fit under their budget. Not all the time, but in some situations, yes. So I wonder if this is one of those situations. I'm going to stop ranting now so we can watch the rest of this video.
So the rules are no longer being applied, and we have all agreed and not paying commissions in line with the agreements that we all worked to agree to. I simply cannot stand idly by while the lives of those who have given their time, energy, and effort are separated without cause. Here's where the simplicity is, you guys. I want to hear from you. I'm tremendously disappointed in the manner that we've been treated, and I know that some of you feel the same. I want you to be able to reach out to me so that we can share our disappointments and I can learn more about how you've been mistreated in the same way as I have. I'm open to answering your questions to the best of my abilities, but only with facts, as long as my counsel continues to allow me to do so without harming my case.
Think about this, though. The company itself is going to lose so many people, not just her, because she's speaking out about it. So people in her like immediate downline for sure are going to like see this as a red flag. Like this is truly going to bring them down.
I invite each of you to reach,
in my opinion, of course,
out, share your story so that I can better understand how you are being treated. We are, for better or worse, in this fight together. And I would like your support as we move towards a fair and just resolution. You guys, it's been a joy to be here for the last 10 years. It's been my honor. Moving forward, I am very excited about what the future holds. This was very, very hard for us to do. It was not easy. It took us a year to get to this decision. And this hasn't been without a lot of tears. It hasn't been without a lot of angst, a lot of sleepless nights, and doing the best of what I could do for our team, because
it sucks that she's crying, because she truly made this her entire life and then she lost it. But it also, on the other hand, it's like as soon as she saw the red flag, she went a year and still continued to recruit people, and that's not cool either. So, two sides to the stories. This is like This is still just so crazy to me.
This is really what it's all about. But it's also about my family too. And the last thing is that my reputation, my name, our integrity will not be associated or tarnished by anyone. That is what I live for. There is no amount of money or paycheck that will ever be worth our name. So, with that being said, I just want to say I truly love you guys. I hope that you found that I am telling this to you as just truly being here for so many years, and we're just very grateful. The relationships that we have built are number one, and they will always continue to be number one. So with that being said, you are more than free to welcome to reach out. Honey, did you have anything to add?
You know, like Tony said, the past couple of years, it's not just the past, literally years, the past couple of years, have not been easy on anyone involved with the company. And
Yikes. Past couple years haven't been easy. Like, that's how long, like, we've just seen this downfall, like this pivot start to happen. And that even like the top earners have seen it, but yet they continue to build their team and act like it's okay. I don't know. I understand you want to take the time to make sure like you're right and you get your ducks in a row, but at the same time, like you see it going downhill, and then you still, again, because you see all this stuff and then there are still other people doing these opportunity calls and things, and it's just, oh gosh, it's so messed up that they're still gonna, not them, but Monat, not Tony, but it's insane to me that Monat and there are just reps that are still going to continue to try to keep it going and prey on vulnerable people. That's why we want to spread this information, so that way people are less inclined to think of it as a good opportunity.
we're grateful for all the relationships that we've made along the way. We're leaving with no hate. We have nothing but love for all of you. And the one thing I want you to keep in mind is over the next few days, there's gonna be a lot of team meetings and a lot of posts and a lot of things about how to handle the fallout of them getting rid of us. Before you fall into the gossip and the innuendos and everything, consider who it's coming from, considering.
If anybody of you, if any of you guys see those, know about those, can get access to those, send them my way, please. I would really, really like to see what they say and react to it and talk to you guys about it.
Why it's being done, but most importantly, you know us. Consider us and consider the people that you know and love before you fall into that drama hole about what is about to happen, because over the next couple of weeks there's going to be a lot of things that come out. So you all know Tony's heart, you all know my heart, my family's heart, and we never wanted it to come to this. There was always a better solution, but that's not the way the company chose to go. You know, Tony literally built the company. She was the very first market partner, and it's been a great 10 years. We've made $15 million in 10 years. That's not a bad return of investment.
Yeah, but you know what?
And we've made a lot of friends.
Yeah, it's really about the relationships, and you know that is the best gift that we could have gotten, are the relationships. And also, I mean, he's always been a believer in Christ, but I was able to find my faith. I was able to, eminently grow as a person in more ways than I could ever imagine. So I'm just so.
It's a good sentiment, but I think your husband was on the right track. It was worth it for you anyways, because you profited $15 million. Well, I don't know if you profited, that's your revenue or whatever. You get it, because you wouldn't have done it if you didn't make that much money. Like, that's just like point blank, period. Everybody underneath you, you might say this now, but for me, in my opinion, you wouldn't even have those relationships in the first place if they weren't transactional. But I've read some of these comments too on here, and it's very interesting. A lot of the people that I've seen that have commented on have already moved on to companies like Olive Tree people. So a lot of people, like, this has been like an exodus happening for the last few months that I've even seen. So It's just, I do appreciate though that she is out here talking about why she's leaving, where some other people that I've seen that were in Monat for like 6 years or 9 years are just saying, I started making less money, but no hate to the company. I just wanted to move on to something else. And I appreciate that she's out here saying, no, what happened was messed up and we saw it happening the past few years. While, yeah, it sucks that she probably still continued to recruit people. The bottom line, though, at the end of it is I'm like super stoked that she is coming out here and speaking out against Monat. So go you, Tony.
Grateful for that. And for us, the relationships are always, they're always going to be number one. And thank you guys for all of you that came on here to support us. I know that there is going to be a lot of fallout, a lot of, you know, upset, disgruntled people. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's really about doing what's best that we feel for us and for y'all. So,
And one other thing too that I'd like to address.
yeah.
We haven't gone to another company. We're not. That's going to be one of the things that's said. We haven't gone anywhere. We're just here, keep it on trucking. But there's
no way they're not going to go to another company or like start an MLM of their own. Let's be real. But I'm trying to make this a positive thing and not like talk too much crap about her, because this is more about the downfall of the company. And again, it is really awesome that she's speaking out. So let's just try to keep positive with this one and see what happens from here.
no, there was no agenda that we haven't left. And no, we just tried to ride it out because we owed so many of you our best effort. And
Yeah.
that's literally how we've always felt. We've owed you our best effort because your success is our success and vice versa.
Exactly. You tried to write it out because you were still making money. See, I still can't make it a positive thing. Like, it's still like, don't say that right now. It's not good.
And like I said, we never wanted to come to this, but y'all are going to be in our hearts. And we're praying for you too. I know that you all have been praying for us, but we're praying for you too.
All right, you guys. So enjoy your weekend. Happy Mother's Day to you, the mamas out there. Make sure you do something nice for yourself. And you know what? We just love you all. All right. Bye.
Bye.
That was it. So that is Tony, the original market partner. I have seen her a lot in videos. If anybody has been following the Monat anti-MLM community, or just you were once in it, you definitely know who she is. And now we will, I guess, a weird thing to say, be looking forward to this lawsuit that she is going to be bringing up against Monat, alleged lawsuit. I might be using the wrong terminology there. I'm not a law professional. I'm just here to talk to you guys about my opinions on scammy things and stuff of that nature. Thanks for watching that with me, you guys. Like I said, if you see anything crazy going on in the Monat world, I'm going to do my best to keep track of it. We're getting close to my wedding date, so I'm going to try my best to do what I can to get you guys as much content as possible. But yeah, I'm going to end this video at that. It was just kind of to show you guys what's going on, and I am going to film some more, because I do have some other stuff that I would like to share with you guys. I'm just going to keep it in a separate video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and this little Monat update, and I will be back with more stuff for you soon. So have a wonderful day, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Bye.